Here's Lisette Flannery and Vince Chialicero on Men of Hula.
The original idea for Nakamale, the Men of Hula, actually came out of my first film, which was American Aloha, Hula Beyond Hawaii. And when I was taking it to festivals and doing screenings through PBS and outreach, the first question, no doubt, was always, I had no idea that men danced hula. And I saw this time and time and again, and I kind of thought, well, there's obviously something lacking here. So maybe I can come up with a concept or an idea for a documentary that would show people the really important role that men have played in hula traditions. And when I sat down and started thinking about it, I said, who should I focus on? And the first person that came to mind was really Robert Cazimero, because he's the only kumuhula in Hawaii who teaches only men, meaning that he doesn't have men and women, it's just guys. And so I thought that would be a perfect focus for a documentary.
I was a director of photography, and I think one of the reasons she picked me was because I'm a hula dancer. So as a hula dancer, I can anticipate what the dancers are going to do, where they're going to be, and so it really gave me an advantage, I think, as a shooter in capturing what was going on. And because I am in that hula world, in the halal world, I know what protocols are necessary.
There were many people that we actually chose to follow outside of Robert Cazimero and his halau, and we also followed his students, other male teachers, male kumuhula who had graduated under Robert to go on and start their own schools. I think as an independent documentarian, it's really hard to find funding for your work. And for me, I was really looking to get a development grant or some seed money to create a trailer, which once you have a trailer, then you can show it to other funders and apply to other grant makers, and they kind of go, oh, this is really interesting, I'd really like to fund this. I was very fortunate and got a development grant from ICVS, came to Hawaii, shot for 2-3 weeks, and went home and cut a trailer in a month. That trailer is really what helped us go to Pacific Islanders and Communications and say, hey, this is our project, this is the idea that we have, and we'd like you guys to help us and fund it. I was able to show it to Robert and show it to the men in the halau and say, this is where I'm going with this idea. And it was really important to kind of keep them involved, to give them a better idea of what I was thinking as a filmmaker, because it's not every day that people come up to you and say, hey, I'd like to do a film about you and your life, and I'd like to interview your family and your friends and everyone you know and all of your students and all the guys in the school. So it was interesting because that trailer not only helped us with getting the funding that we needed to continue the project, it also helped in showing Robert and the men in the halau that, okay, this is what the project's going to look like. And I think it really helped kind of in building that trust or that relationship.
I started in 1975 with 6 guys, and in 2005 I'll celebrate teaching 30 years. My hula life would be nothing without my kumu, my teacher, Mike Hiayu Lake.
I was really excited because we were going to go to the Merry Monarch Hula Festival to shoot Robert's 30th anniversary participation in the festival.
Just watching that whole story unfold itself before us, and when they won, it was incredible too. But for me, I think what was really cool about that project is you have 15, 20 people who you pretty much bond with over the course of how everything's going, and they become your friends, they become your family, and it was a lot of fun just to kind of see them succeed. They're older, they're grandparents, and to have them win everything was amazing. It was really cool, and to capture that on film, on video, was a real treat for me.
I had set out to explore the different roles of men in hula, kind of through this journey of following the men back to Merry Monarch. But what I hadn't expected, and what really kind of was a blessing, was we happened to be in the right place at the right time and got really, really lucky, because Robert sweeping the awards that year and winning first place in everything was really just mind-blowing. It's kind of like a filmmaker's wet dream or something. You're kind of like, what do you do with this? This is so amazing. And it's like people ask me, like, did I know? Like, oh, you must have, and no one knew. And, you know, that's kind of the beautiful thing about documentary, is that you do have these really wonderful things kind of unfold. Not that it was like a surprise. I mean, of course, I was thrilled that Robert and the guys had done so well, and I was really, really proud on top of it all. But I can distinctly remember looking over at Vince Keala and just us kind of shaking our heads like, is this happening?
One of the coolest things to see was when Reggie, he's been dancing for 40 years or so. He coaches paddling, so he's this real tough guy, you know. And to see him break down and actually start crying, yeah, that's gold, right? For a cinematographer, for a filmmaker, that's the moments that you really want to see on camera. And we were able to get those moments, and it translates to a beautiful piece of the film.
It was kind of a very nice ending to a really kind of an amazing journey.